Hello and welcome to another Raggy's craft beer review. So we're going over to Manchester to Alphabet Brewing Company, and it's their A to the K American Pale Ale, 5.6%. Got this from LowCostbeer. You know, LowCostbeer is my go-to place for beers. I can't, and I've said this to a lot of people. They followed me. They said, thank God you said that. And I do. A lot of people are going there, which is great. Yeah, 99 Northwestern Street, Manchester, UK. Sadly enough, I've not been over to Manchester for a long while. Our My wife's auntie and uncle and their family live on the outskirts of Manchester, near Stockport or in between Stockport and Manchester. Yeah, we need to go over. Plenty of good drink places in Manchester, breweries in Manchester, Cloudwater Track, um, amongst many others. And, if I had the money and time, I'd love to do all these things. This is the one thing. I suppose that in life you choose the job that you like to do. I love gardening. I love doing what I do. I could have been a computer person because I'm very good at computers as well. And I went into the gardening world instead. And money wise, was that the best option? Maybe not. Maybe not. So, slight haze on this, only slight. Um, I'd class this, well, it's like a straw to gold pour. Typical raggy pour, mind you. Ooh, hoppy, zesty nose on this. Tropical, hoppy, zesty nose. Wow, quite punchy. Right, let's dive in. Oh, it's got a bit of poke to it. I had quite a few from Alphabet Brewing Company. Really enjoyed their beers. Ooh, I have to be careful. So YouTube do nowadays. They take thumbnails when you do reviews, and I don't know what it is, but every single bloody review I do, I look either half pissed or I'm staring down at the beer in a disgusting way. And you look and you think, what? I actually really like that beer. And I gave it a great review. And you've got me at the one moment where I'm obviously pulling the face for some reason, maybe talking about something. And the thumbnail's crap. And so one has to be careful. Um, ooh. So I get warm, I start getting an itchy head, and the fire's on, and just to warm the beer room up. Um, Obviously, this time of the year it gets very cold in here. I certainly feel it. Um, and yeah. So, with regard to the channel, I need to do a channel update at some stage, and do the wheres and wherefores and where the channel's going, and it changes quite a bit, to be fair. Um, Mostly on mood swings, but yeah, but where the market's going and all that, and obviously, you know what you can afford to buy. In the grand scheme of things, it's nice to have lots of money and do what you do. I know people who can afford to spend 70, 80 quid a week on beers to review, and that's all right. But if you've got that money to spend, if you haven't, it's not so easy. Um, and yeah, some of the best breweries in the country, they're charging some good money for their beers. And yes, I've bought some of them beers at good prices, but it's not something that, I can do all the time, especially not this winter. And obviously, going into winter, I don't do any gardening, um, extra gardening in winter. So that puts quite a squeeze on my ability to obviously to get money for beer and and to do and for beer reviews as well. So it's going to be interesting. Um, could it be a winter where I slow down beer reviewing? Could be, and like a lot of people, we're all going through especially anybody on medium to low wages and unemployed. We're all feeling the squeeze. The rich, yeah, whatever. But the rest of us, are feeling it, and those that aren't fiddling the government, MPs. I mean, don't get me started on MPs. But yeah, the rest of us, and I'm going to start calling out these MPs. I am, and calling out the government because I feel that social media, the power of social media is a power that when you start getting a good following, maybe, maybe it's the thing to do, maybe not. But to call out these people and those not me because obviously couple of thousand bloody YouTube subscribers is nothing compared to the real people with clout in the world. But if those real people with clout called out the governments and used the power of social media to change governments around the world, these people who are mega rich calling out the governments for their wrongdoings. And you can, we've seen in COVID where you can make governments, especially this government, change their mind just through the power of everyone getting on and slagging them off, and you can make them change their minds, and it's got to happen more. The public have got to stop sitting back. Social media these days is the most powerful weapon in the world. Using it for good, not for bad, but for good, is an amazing tool. Force these governments to stop their, looking after the rich, which they do. Happens in the USA, happens in the UK, way too bloody much. And getting them to support everyone. Not the work shy, no. And those who abuse the migrant system, no. Because it happens, we see it every day. But, yeah, the world's oh dear. Thank God for beer. Anyway, I've got off my pedestal. I'm back on the beer now. Oh dear. If I was in charge of the country. Thankfully, my beer reviews, less than about 50 people will see most beer reviews. So it doesn't really matter. But for those who do, I'm right, in the grand scheme of things. But yeah. So slightly hazy now. Obviously, a bit of sediment at the bottom of the can has come in. Still tasting nice, still smelling nice. So, American Pale Ale. Can help my eyes. 5.6%. Tropical, zesty, punchy, hoppy. It's a good beer. Out of 5 for me. Good 4.4 out of 5. From Alphabet Brewing Company. And yeah, I need to make sure I don't sound too drunk when I go up to the house, otherwise I get a bollocking. But there you go. Cheers all. And thank you for watching this little beer review channel. And thank you for liking, subscribing, commenting, and all the other stuff. Sharing and all that other stuff. Cheers all. See you soon.